Hi, everybody. It's Fridays with the HBS Guru. This Friday without John Byrne, who is taking a well-needed whatever he needs well. We've got our special guest here, Daniel James Smith, who I believe is a college senior. Did I get that right, Daniel?
That is correct.
Okay. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us where you go to college and what you're doing and what you want to do.
Great. So I go to a small liberal arts college called McDaniel College in Westminster, Maryland. It's in the same conference as Dickinson and Johns Hopkins and Muhlenberg, if people are familiar with those schools.
Yeah, so smart people, right? Small, smart people.
We like to think so. So at McDaniel, I'm a triple major in German, business, and accounting. So I stay quite busy, and I've kind of taken those majors to create.
Good. Okay, let me cut to some chases here. You got a 396, and then you're reporting a Gmat score of 660.
Correct. I just took that last Saturday, and I'm planning on taking it again at the end of the month. I didn't score as high as my practice exams and think that I can score a little bit better.
Well, people usually do. People take the GMAT a lot of times, and my tough love is keep taking it. They don't, I don't know what the limit is, but schools just want the number. They don't care how many times you take it. So it's a very important outcome, even though it seems like an amazing hassle while you're going through it. It's worth just bearing down and taking it again until you get like. Well, you're a white male, I take it. Have I got that right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so you're interested in Harvard Business School, and is that your first choice?
Yes. The 2+2 program would be what I'm most interested in.
Oh, so you are applying to 2+2?
Yes.
Okay, good. Here's well, tell us about your prior internships.
Yeah, so my school places really well into big four accounting firms. So I started off on a CPA type track. Once I did my first internship at a local tax company, I realized that I didn't really want to do the CPA track. So I kind of tried to create my own path in a finance related field. So after that,
and you had some success.
Yes, I was.
Success getting a job. Tell us what you're doing, what you did last summer from May to August.
Yeah, so I was at JP Morgan in the Global Finance and Business Management program. One of the alumni of the school contacted a professor and was looking for McDaniel students who could perform well at JP, and she recommended me to that program.
Send that alum a thank you note, or have the director of placement at your school send her a thank you note. That's the way that people from lesser known schools like McDaniel get to Wall Street jobs. Okay, here's a question for you. You got a 396. Let's assume you get like a 730 GMAT. You're a white male applying for 2+2. That's a tough league. Aside from the JP Morgan gig, why should they take you?
Well, I think that coming from my background and being able to get that position at JP Morgan just means that I'm on an accelerated track. So
you hustled and got a job at JP Morgan, and let's assume, and you did well there, okay?
And so I think I can apply that same kind of academic rigor.
Anything else? Okay, I got to tell you, that's kind of baked into a lot of 2+2 applicants.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how to differentiate myself enough from other 2+2, except from the German side of things, because that's part of my kind of identity, is wanting to work internationally, and have been taking German since 8th grade. And
okay, what else you have to support that? The Model European Union and the Global Fellows Program.
Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, those are two things that two extracurricular activities.
Okay, here's a dirty little secret about 2+2 that I keep mentioning. So I hope it's not a dirty little secret anymore. But one of the things that Ms. Leopold, the person who runs that program, Deirdre Leopold,
Hmm.
says that she's looking for are people who can take risks during the 2+2 years. In other words, what if you get accepted to the 2+2 program, you can do almost anything before you enroll at Harvard Business School. Deirdre Leopold views that as an opportunity to do wonderful things. Okay, easy for her to say. How could you take advantage of those 2 years?
Well, I've already accepted a minimum 1 year position with JP Morgan. And so I'd be
Right.
working there for the first year. And then I would try to work abroad. I would try to network with people at the firm to get me a position in Frankfurt, preferably.
Good. Okay, that's a good way to lay out your case. And to the extent you could even say, I'm going to take 3 years before matriculation. They don't hold you to this stuff. And lay out like a 2-year plan once you get to Europe about what you could do there, what you want to do, and take some risks. You see, taking a job at a Frankfurt bank or the Frankfurt branch of JP Morgan is a great thing in my book. 2+2 grades that as neutral. It doesn't add any value to just having the job in the first place. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Would you think that like a Fulbright abroad or teaching English abroad would add any value?
Well, a Fulbright would add value just if you could get it. And then depending on what your mission was, teaching abroad, they would view as possibly don't know what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a plus in their book, my guess.
Good to know.
It's not selective. That's another key word. How selective is it? That's one of the ways they analyze things over there. How selective is it? How hard is this to get? Because you see, a Fulbright, what you have to do is beat out 10 other people to get the Fulbright. So they say, hey, the Fulbright committee has chosen this guy. They like him, so they must know what they're doing. They don't like it, so you know what it's like. Things just build on each other. What you want to do is make that happen in a good way. So when people look back on your career, they'll say, boy, this guy was real shrewd. He went to McDaniel College for a lot of reasons, but after that, he sure hustled his way into a Fulbright and then into the Harvard 2+2 program, and then he was a Harvard graduate, then he joined a company. Boy, this guy knows how to make stuff happen. So they like that profile, and that's what they're looking for.
That's good to know.
Here's a question for you. Okay, so the 2+2 essay is the same. Am I right? Or am I losing my mind? It's the same as the regular one, right? What else do you want us to know? What are you thinking of saying?
So I've written a rough draft for that already and had a couple of my professors that know me pretty well look at it.
Oh boy. Well, you know how we feel about that.
Yeah. So I focused most of the essay on my German background, considering there's only one word on my resume that indicates German, like my major. It's so much part of my identity that I wanted to make it well known to the committee that that's at the heart of my career goals, aspirations, is making it international, something global related.
Yeah, how come?
Yeah, so.
Did you get into that?
Sorry?
The German thing and the international aspirations, that's a good opening paragraph. I'm trying to suggest what a value add essay would be.
Yeah, so I talked about kind of the background of choosing German in the first place. It's something I kind of fell into It wasn't a purposeful decision back then, but now after a couple years of it.
Let me just get tough here for a minute. What value is that adding?
Well, I think it adds a different perspective from when you're working in a team. I think that
They like
diversity
people
is really
who are
important.
purposive. They don't like people. They don't like stories about how I fell into it. I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
I might pedal that one down.
Yeah, that was back in
Pedal
the
that
8th
part down.
grade. And I chose my undergraduate institution because of the German program here. And so it
Sure.
was
Okay. So
purposeful.
you explained your interest in German, and that helps explain a little bit about McDaniel College. That's all okay. How much value do you think that's adding? How much is that distinguishing you from another guy who, went to, Tufts and majored in French?
Well, I think that having both the German and the finance accounting background really distinguishes me
Can I
from
give you
those.
some tough love? I don't think it does.
Okay.
I think it's there. I don't think that's helping you. I'm trying to help you here, man.
I know, I get that.
I'm not trying to give you a hard time, even though it's resulting in a hard time. But, I think what you should do, I think the way to distinguish yourself is to talk about what possible impact you'd like to have, and then anything in your past that supports that.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Like who's a role model for you? Who's a hero for you?
I would say, well, Angela Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany. I've studied her
That's
pretty in
great.
depth.
I'm a big fan of hers myself. Okay.
Yes, and I know she's speaking at Harvard's commencement this year. So I don't know
Well,
if that's.
I didn't get my invitation yet, but that's interesting. And what do you like about her?
Well, she doesn't come from a politics background. Like she has a PhD in neurochemistry or something very detailed. But just the way she is able to interact with others and actually listens before making a decision is, I think, what the world political scene really needs at this point in time.
Well, you're right, but you're not articulating it correctly. What you like about her is that she's a real effective leader, and she has to lead different constituencies in different ways. She is buffeted by the same forces that are buffeting Europe. And those are, first of all, the big bad Russians, although don't say it that way. Problems like immigration, and Germany itself is split between progressive parties and some very, I believe, conservative parties. So what your discussion of Merkel should be, she's a kind of balanced hero that, I like. And she's got a balance because she can manage different groups in different ways. And and her goals are this, and this. So she's someone I deeply admire. That would be the way I would handle Angela Merkel. You get the difference?
Yes.
And isn't she East German wasn't she born in the East? So
yeah, she grew up in East Germany.
So she manages to bridge the two spheres.
Yes.
Okay, let's see other things here that we could. So what did you do in the Model European Union?
Yeah, so
what is it?
That was a simulation of around 20 different schools on the East Coast. Each school was assigned a country, and then each student that took part in the simulation was assigned a alter ego. And so at the simulation, you were to act as your alter ego would act in real life. And there was a couple
alter ego?
The first time I did it was Marine Le Pen from France.
All right. Well, how did you like dressing up as her? Wow.
It was fun to not
Did you
have to
get the
know
feeling?
much.
Did you get any empathy?
No, there was a lot of pushback, a lot of hatred.
Yeah, sure. That's obvious. But did you, in getting yourself psyched up to be her, did you understand the intoxication of power or anything like that?
Yeah, it was really interesting to go through, and our party was actually able to get a majority and pass some legislation, just because the way we were able to interact with the other parties. Last fall, I was Didier Reinders from Belgium, a very pro-European Union guy. So it was kind of
Come on, that's like
yeah.
falling off a log. It's like having like being a pillbox of Sominex, if you know what that is. Sominex is a sleep-inducing, over-the-counter drug. It used to be.
Yeah, it wasn't a very exciting guy.
All right. Okay, let's bring this up to speed here. In terms of handicapping my advice is, deal with the GMAT. You know that. You've got to take a little bit of a risk because you're in a very competitive. 2 + 2 is competitive. It's a competitive bucket. I would, on the essay, I would really talk about, goals and influences, not, how I became a German major. And I would say, and I would sound informed. I would say my goals are to be an influential, leader in, European affairs, and I admire people like this and this, and influences on me have been this, this, and this. And the influences could be, some of them are direct, some of them are, I'm influenced by Angela Merkel, even though I never met her. She's a role model for me. Other influences have been professors at McDaniel who've encouraged me, or a mentor at JP Morgan who encouraged me. And then you have to be very personal and very convincing about what the impact of those people have been on you. That would be my advice about how to manage this application.
Great, thank you.
You're a little bit of 2 + 2 is just really competitive for white males. It just is. So that's the way I would do it. I'd say your chances are maybe 20%. Okay.
I can take that.
Good. So that's my advice, and thanks for undergoing our analysis here. It was meant to help you out here.
Yes, it very much did. Thank you.
You're a good. You can take a punch, buddy. So that's one thing you got going for you. Okay, we're going to sign off now, and we'll see you back next week, folks, when our beloved leader John Byrne will be back to help us move things along. Adios.